Morning, folks. It is the 16th of January, and this is going to be a philosophical discussion by any means. Over the last several days, some of my worst suspicions were confirmed. And I don't care what you may think of these media outlets. That's not my issue, because there is corroborating evidence outside of anything you may suspect to be alt-right or whatever. Our military was sent for exercises to China, and they were supposed to have Chinese troops here in Petawawa, not far from here. Apparently, the exercise got canceled, but they were to be here for winter training. And so these documents that were uncovered by Rebel are secret military documents distributed from the highest ranks of the Canadian Armed Forces in an attempt to cover up a scandal of global proportions. The document, entitled Potential Exposure to 2019 Novel Coronavirus During the 7th Military World Games in October 2019 in Wuhan, Hubei Province, China, was written by Canada's Surgeon General, A.M.T. Downes, Major General. Downes' position reports to and obeys Trudeau's Defence Minister, Harjit Sajjan, a handful of weeks after sending out this gaslighting letter to every Canadian soldier who was in Wuhan for the military games. Major General Downes resigned. Our sources detailed Canada's cover-up response to a critical pneumonia outbreak in a contingent of 176 Canadian soldiers stationed in Wuhan over 2 months before the People's Republic of China reported outbreaks in the same city. But just a few weeks before the officially recognized case on November the 17th, 2019. While the contingent was returning to Canada on a Polaris jet, 1/3 of the members were quarantined in the back of the plane. They were perhaps the first Canadians to ever quarantine from the Wuhan virus. Strangely, upon return to Canada, the senior ranks of the armed forces decided to end the quarantine of the soldiers and send them back to their homes across the country. What was the response of Justin Trudeau's Surgeon General to this? And don't be fooled, the Surgeon General reports directly to Trudeau's Defence Minister. He is a political soldier. Naturally, the government decided to cover it up. So the first cases of this virus apparently arrived in Canada after they were on a military exercise in Wuhan, our troops. What the hell are our troops doing exercising with the CCP? A murderous, totalitarian military entity. It is no different than if we had sent troops to train with Hitler or with Stalin. We are being betrayed at the highest levels of government. And what is most profoundly disappointing to me is the unwillingness of Canadians to think. I won't call you fools. I won't call you all the names that you call folks who are classically liberal like myself, or conservatives or libertarians. I won't call you those names because I know you're not stupid. And actually, I don't believe you to be a racist, but I do believe you're communist sympathizers. That's what I think you are. I think you love totalitarian government, which is far worse than any of the names that you could ever level against us. Cancel culture has gone rabid for one simple reason, that it wants to silence the truth. But the truth can't be silenced, you see. Even in the National Post, Andrew Potter just wrote a fantastic article on Canada's lack of interest in self-defense explains COVID failures. I'll post links to all these things below. I'm so goddamn fed up with this government of ours and with you pandering commie sympathizers who think that trading with a communist regime is actually free trade. Free people can only trade with other free people. And those poor people in China are not free under that communist regime. I know, I've traveled through China. I've been in their factories. I've seen the working conditions. These people aren't free, okay? This nation needs to wake up. And if it isn't too late, and I'm strongly suspecting it is, and oh, by the way, about this vaccination, there has never in the history of the common cold, which COVID-19 is a version of, been a vaccine for a cold. The cold is an RNA virus. So what they've done is concocted an RNA mixture, okay, which has unknown, undetermined effects on human biology. So in the nation that you would least expect to break with the social consensus, Norway, and I'll post this article as well below, warns of the vaccination risks for sick patients over 80. In a nation with a population of less than Hogtown, Toronto, used to be called Toronto the Good, but now it's Toronto the reprehensibly evil. In a nation with a population of less than Toronto, 23 people have already died shortly after receiving the vaccine. We get it through your heads. We're being lied to on a massive scale. And the sort of lies that we're being fed are a direct attack on Canadian sovereignty and Canadian democracy, and on, most particularly, limited constitutional government. Let's look at what I posted this morning, if I can find it. What does treason mean? What is the actual meaning of treason? Just skim through here at all the messages I've been sending to my wife because she's gone through the surgery for her ear and can't communicate by hearing. Computer's hung up, of course. The crime of betraying one's country, especially by attempting to kill the sovereign or overthrow the government. Treachery, lèse-majesty, disloyalty, betrayal, faithlessness, perfidy, duplicity, infidelity, sedition, subversion, mutiny, rebellion, high treason. All of these words are synonymous. When a nation's leaders conspire with our enemies to undo the very nature of our democracy, and they're even declaring it now by telling us they're going to use this COVID shutdown of all small business, absolutely gutting our economy. They're going to use it to have a de facto communist revolution. Wake up, Canadians! If it's not too late, your government is attacking your very rights as a citizen. I feel like Cassandra. Everything I predicted ever since in 2014 when I woke up to the threat that was being posed to the West by cultural Marxism. Every warning that I've given has been largely ignored. I don't know how to speak more clearly and concisely or provide more proof, but I'm going to put all the proof and links below this vlog. Please listen, please share, please get involved in this discussion. Please subscribe to the Philosophy for Philistines channel and understand this. Each one of us is responsible to help steer the ship of state. You have a great rest of your weekend, if that's possible.